All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
Hello and thanks for joining us, 2K Sports fans, for another exciting presentation of NBA basketball. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games. Shaw.
You know, he's a great young player and even a better young man. So personally, I couldn't be happier for him. I know he's thinking about the game, but I hope he's able to take a moment to just enjoy this accomplishment.
Well said, and I hope so too. I mean, as a player, you want to stay even-keeled, but it's almost impossible. I mean, there's just so much that you've gone through to reach this point. It has to be emotional.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, with Freak, Clark, there was a question whether he... And there you have it, folks, the very first NBA bucket from Shaw.
You know, it maybe not the prettiest bucket he'll ever score, but it'll always be the first one.
And the first will make it the prettiest one. Well, no matter how he got it, just a fantastic moment in this young man's career and his basketball life.
And both free throws good from Freak. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, it's right in Auburn Hills.
I know.
I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor. Looking now at the numbers for Jackson. Good season for him last year. Put up about 14 points per, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Backup point guard, always an important position, and he fills that role beautifully.
Yep, without a good floor conductor coming off the bench, your offense can quickly grow stagnant. He solves that problem.
The Pistons have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponent.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And the Pistons, how about starting out?
Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
And so he makes both from the line. On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. Same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Exum's shot is off.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Stan Van Gundy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. This is their first matchup of the season against this squad, and he knows the shot blocking in the middle will certainly be an obstacle. But he said, quote, "We've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack." Guys, he said that putting their bigs in high pick and rolls and shooting the open jumper with confidence will be key. We'll see how they do.
Thank you, Doris, and quite a focus for the game here early on, and an important one too, guys.
Yeah, I mean, up against this team, finding ways to crack their defensive shell is always going to be the #1 challenge.
And I would say it would be the #2 and #3 challenges as well, guys.
Jackson misses. Jazz trail by 4. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
1:12 left in the first quarter. Here's Baines. No luck, they battled on the glass but couldn't knock it down. For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off the loss to the Hawks in Atlanta.
And boy, that was a tough one to lose, guys, but they played well throughout that game, just unable to convert down the stretch.
Yeah, I know we don't get into moral victories, but they can definitely take away some positives from it because even though they came up on the short end, there was some good stuff too.
Jackson drives in. Johnson in the corner. Elbow shot is on the way. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Tolliver. And the Pistons lead by 4. Utah's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Unloads. Almost, but it rolls out. Pistons leading by 4. Jackson up top, coming in off a 10-point game his last outing. It's deflected. Exum. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. It's Detroit. They lead by 4. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court?
Detroit ends up going with a new group. Here's Jackson. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Aaron Baines out there with Anthony Tolliver. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. Tolliver with the bucket.
Well, we know
Really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
They set the screen to the middle. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Lyles. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Jazz trail by 5. Freak with it. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 3rd in second chance points, 4th in rebounding, and they were top 10 in fewest team turnovers. This team has a number of players that take care of the ball and value every possession.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite, and they weren't shy about sticking their nose in there and going after the ball.
Caldwell Pope passes to Tolliver. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free.
Tolliver hits them both. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
It's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Booker dishes to Freak. Rebound, Detroit. Here's Jackson. Dishes it to Tolliver. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll get
for a while there. How about going to the playoffs from 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Exum off a pick from Shaw.
Move the ball and stick it to the
We've got 1:08 left in the second quarter. Here's Lyles, and he uses the glass on the layup. Lyles got 6 in the quarter.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
There's the pick. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Johnson, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Shot clock at 6. Shoots the 3. Shot's good. Caldwell Pope's got 10 points in the game.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Shaw. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Pistons lead by 10. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. All right.
Okay, listen up. There's some things we can do to quiet this crowd down. Now let's go over that first half. One thing that could turn this game around would be for our three-point shots to start falling. We've been dismal from beyond the arc. The guys I will give credit to are the guys who came off the bench and gave us the scoring pop we needed. I know we're down, but I don't want that to dictate the speed we run our offense at. Good shots are the priority, not quick shots. All right, guys, let's get out there and play a good second half.
And so it's Detroit with the W. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds, Clark.
You know what? They showed their character in crunch time, though, doing what had to be done to send these fans home happy.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Andre Drummond.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Well, Andre Drummond asserted himself in a big way in this game. He is a terrifying presence, and tonight he was fully motivated and engaged. His rebounding on both ends of the court has always been sensational. The man was just a monster in the paint.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.